Hello everyone, my name is Emily DiDonato and welcome back to REVOLVE's YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a super easy smoky eye for the holiday season. I love to do a smoky eye. I feel like it can feel really intimidating at first, but I promise you, once you realize that a smoky eye does not really need to be that perfect and it's also not that complicated, I promise you, you will come out of this video feeling confident and feeling like you can do this too. But anyway, let's start all over and I will show you step by step exactly how to create this look right here. So let's get into it. Of course, before I go in with any sort of skin prep, I always like to make sure that my skin is moisturized and hydrated and put some lip balm on before you go in with any other products. Doing really good skin prep is just as important as everything that comes after it. Okay, so first we are gonna start off with our base. When I'm going a little heavier on the eye area, I actually like to keep my base quite clean and simple. I don't like to do too much foundation or contour because I feel like it almost makes everything blend into one brown color. So first I'm gonna go in with this Erborian CC cream. I am using the shade Clair. This is super natural and very easy to apply onto the skin, which is one of my favorite things about it. It feels like skincare and it's so natural. And as you can see, that took me like 2 seconds and I just feel like my skin just looks a little healthier, a little more alive. Next, we're gonna go in and do a little bit of concealer underneath the eyes. I have a pimple right here, so we're gonna cover all of that up. I'm using this Tower 28 concealer. It gives you just the right amount of coverage, but it's so natural on the skin and I find that it doesn't creasy in the eye area. I do not like to go in with like a super bright, light white concealer. I think it just looks so unnatural on the skin. So I actually picked something that's like closer to my skin tone to go in and cover up any of those problem areas or darkness. I've always put some on my chin and my forehead as well because generally I'm trying to brighten up the center of my face. So I'm just gonna blend that in. I really like to use the warmth of my fingers to blend makeup. I think I just don't have the eye and the hand and the expertise to use a brush, but I just find it looks really natural. Next, I'm gonna go in and do some bronzer. Going in with this bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. I use the shade medium right now in this time of year. I love this giant fluffy brush from DIBS Beauty. It's so good, it's so soft. I lost it and I immediately bought it again. I'm just gonna go in and use bronzer on the outside of my face just to bring a little bit more color. I'm really not a big fan of contour. Cream contours can look a little unnatural in person, but I think they look amazing in photos. But I find when I use a bronzer like the Charlotte Tilbury one, I'm still getting a natural effect and even some sculpting if I really want. So I think there are a lot of different ways to go about creating a smoky eye. I like to start with the eyeliner first and kind of smudge that out and start creating the eye. And then I go in with a little bit of shadow around it. So first I'm gonna line the inside of my eye. Do not be scared, it can totally be messy. I'm also gonna go in, tightline my eye. This is so that like there are no gaps kind of in your eyeliner. I'll also go on top of my lash line a little bit. Don't tug too much on your eye, it's tempting. When you are doing a smoky eye, I highly recommend having on hand any type of micellar water makeup remover, and I love a pointy Q-tip like this, just in case you're like making any mistakes, it's giving you anxiety and you wanna kind of clean it up, but we can do all of that at the end, so don't worry. I'm gonna do the other eye the same, lining the bottom eye and top lining. We did that tight line. Sometimes I like to squeeze my eyes together a little bit so that they kind of blend into each other. Okay, next I'm gonna start blending this out a little bit. And I think my goal when I start smudging this out is you just don't want it to be harsh lines anywhere in your smoky eye. What partially makes a smoky eye so sexy to me is when it feels lived in. We don't want it to be overly perfect. And once you realize that you can just kind of blend this out with your fingers so easily, you can go in with your bronzer and just make sure that you're not getting any harsh lines. I'm going in right now with a Q-tip just because I see one little area where maybe there's just like a little too much liner happening going towards my under eye, but I also will go in later with concealer to clean that up. I really like this Pat McGrath liner because it goes on beautifully. It's like this kind of gel gliding texture and it was so easy to blend out with my fingers. Just to add even more definition to the eye, I'm gonna go in with this like kind of taupey brown shade and I'm just putting that all over my lid. It's really nice to have another one of these on hand, like almost like a clean brush, for any additional blending that you want to do. I'm going in with this large fluffy brush right here, and I'm buffing out any edges here. Same with the eyeliner, the concept that we do not want any harsh lines for a smoky eye. We want it all to feel lived in. Next, I'm going to go in with this darker shade. I always like to take it out a little bit on my hand, see what kind of pigmentation you are dealing with before you go straight in on the eye. I'm putting this in on my crease area to create even more definition. I'm just really blending that out. If anything ever starts to feel too dark or you feel like those lines are getting a little bit too strong for you, you can go into your bronzer. It's a really nice neutral shade. I've even done it with a powder foundation, and just go in and buff those edges. I can't help myself. I want to go back in and add liner again on the bottom and the top and do the tight line again. I really want that definition. Also, while still trying not to mess up what I just did on my lids, which is an art. Looking into my compact mirror, I could see that I'm having some gaps in my liner on the top line. I feel really good about where we're at in terms of this smoky eye. I do want to add just a touch of a wing. I'm going with a very pointy angled brush like this. I like to get my brush a tiny bit wet. Then I go in with the darkest shade, which I'm gonna do right here. And then I go in and I like to create that wing, like so. Very subtle. It actually makes a really big difference. That's it. Very subtle, but definitely brings the eye out a little bit more. Next, I'm gonna go in and curl my eyelashes. I am going in with this Tower 28 mascara. I love this mascara. I usually use black, but I actually got this one in the color Drift, and it's like a brown, which I think will look really nice with this eye. I actually have quite like thin and sparse lashes, so I don't go too heavy on mascara because I just think it makes it look like I'm trying to make something out of nothing. And I also do not put any mascara on my bottom lashes, which may also be kind of an unpopular opinion. I just think it makes my eyes look a little smaller, and I just don't want attention towards like the bottom half of my eye, if that makes sense. But obviously everyone is so different and you have to experiment with your own face. I'm gonna go back again with the same Tower 28 concealer and add some underneath the eyes again, just in case I had any fallout from the shadows. And I'm actually gonna use this little brush right here, which is the Sigma eyeshadowing brush, but I'm actually gonna use it as a concealer brush just because I don't wanna get my big fingers into my beautiful smoky eye. If you wanna get really fancy, you can bring your concealer all the way up and underneath your wing to add an extra layer of definition. But I feel good about where our smoky eye is right now. I didn't have a lip scrub on me right now, so I'm actually just using a towel that I have in my bathroom, and I got it a little bit wet, and I am scrubbing my lips, any of the dead skin off. I'm gonna quickly touch up my eyebrows right now. I kind of love when brows are quite light, and then the eye is the main focus. It's like why sometimes in fashion they bleach your eyebrows, which can look so crazy, but then it really allows your eyes to pop out. I am using the same brow pencil I always use, Precisely My Brow, and I'm using the shade 2.5. I'm only gonna add in some color towards the ends. Really, I kind of like to keep it natural in the inside of my brows because then it gets a little blocky when I color in too much here. So I really just focus on adding that shape and a little bit more length to the outside of my eyebrows. Then to keep my eyebrows in place for hopefully the rest of the evening, I'm gonna be using this 24-hour brow setter, the Benefit one. And I like to brush them up and then kind of pull them away a little bit up here so they're not all sticking straight up. Finally, let's do blush. I once again have two stunning, gorgeous options. Oh, so pretty. This one is Kosas in Swoon. It's like a mauve-y color, which I thought was nice to complement the brown. And then this really light pink one, which is from Ilia, is Closer. I love the marbleizing of this one. I'm attracted to that. So let's try this first. And I also always like to put a little bit on the back of my hand just to see what you're working with. And then adding that to my cheeks. Ooh, whoa, it's pigmented, but it's pretty. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I smile a little bit just to reveal the apples of my cheeks. And even though it's so tempting for me to go crazy on blush, actually, when I'm doing a smoky eye, I try to keep it a little bit more subtle. I think that's good for now. Swoon, blush is life. Oh my God, of course that's why I like this color. That is so pretty and very pigmented. I like barely touched it and it really popped out. Okay, now I wanna do a little bit of highlighter. I'm using this Pat McGrath Labs and it's kind of like this sheer type highlighter. I'm putting that on my finger and putting it on the high points of my face. So I like to do it on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow. I even like to do it a little bit on the apples of my cheek, just because I think it looks cute when you smile and your cheeks are a little bit shiny. Sometimes I'll do it a little bit up here. I'm not gonna do too much. I really don't wanna mess with my eye. We're gonna move on to lip. This is also gonna be a really tough decision for me. I didn't wanna take this out of the container because I wanted to show you guys just how cute it is. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This would make for a fantastic gift, a fantastic stocking stuffer. And then there's 3 of her most popular shades right here. This one is the shade Kissing Rose to Fame. This kind of like pinky rose mauve colors are really nice and complementary with a brown smoky eye. Last time, curling my lashes. That's the final steps. I know some people don't like to curl lashes when you already have mascara on them, but I find that it is like a necessary final touch because it gives your lashes that one last boost. Okay, everyone, I think we have completed our super easy, semi-natural smoky eye. This was really easy, straightforward, and honestly, you could wear this during the day or at night. I don't know, be bold, but this is like a perfect holiday date night makeup that anyone can do and anyone will look good wearing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe to Revolve's YouTube channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.